Hey, I hope you're doing well. This quick little video will go through how I would use the Harmonic scanner, as well as the Harmonic scanner, just a few extra confirmations that will basically improve the Harmonic scanner's success rate, if that makes sense, right? So again, what you want to do to access the Harmonic scanner, if you don't already know, is go into im.center, use your IMRC Academy login details, click login, and this will like take you to the center, obviously. And to access the scanner, just go into strategies. Then this is where all the like programs and applications will be. Scroll down, FRX Academy, click on Harmonics, click on the big HS logo, and then whilst that loads up, what you want, like if this is your first time looking at the scanner and like plugging in, then don't worry too much. Like the patterns and like wherever you see may be a bit confusing to you. Like trust me, like for me at first it did. I'll just simply break it down like step by step, right? So whatever I'm gonna go through, just like on a piece of paper or on your trading notebook, write down every single steps I do, just so that you can replicate it straight after this video, right? Or if you want, after each step I do, pause the video, like on another tab or something, log on to the scanner yourself and just follow my steps step by step, right? Cool. So once you log in, I'll get onto the main graph in a bit. First thing you want to go is on the right hand side. Every time you log in, it might be a different name, but basically this blue circle, green circle are the different broker details that the scanner uses, right? With me, I personally use Hugo's Way, but with this strategy, it works on Hugo's Way, JFX, Trader's Way. Those three are the most consistent ones, to my knowledge. Since I have a Hugo's Way account, let's just go on Hugo's Way. And again, on top of that, there's M15, M30, H1, H4, and D. These are different time frames, right? So M15 basically means 50-minute time frame. So each candle, if I click on USD CHF, US dollar to Swiss francs, each of these candles represents 15 minutes worth of data, right? So 50 minutes worth of price going up and down until that candle's formed, if that makes sense. So this strategy what I'm about to show you works on all the time frames. I personally like to use the 1 hour and 15-minute, right? Again, the higher the time frame, the longer you're expected to hold the trade for, right? So if you only want to hold the trade for, I don't know, like 30 minutes or like up to an hour, basically, use the 15. If you want to hold the trade for like few hours, basically within 24 hours or within the day, then use H1, right? I prefer to use the 1 hour time frame, so let's go on that. Cool, so the first one, alright, cool. So before I go into that, on the right hand side, under the time frame, under the broker, you have your different currency pairs, right? As well as the different harmonic patterns like barfly, shark, and whatnot, right? Don't worry too much about barfly, like the names of the patterns. You don't need to know that for this. What you want to focus on is the currency pair itself, right? So in this list, it will change each time you log on, but the top one is the most recent one that the currency pair has basically found and scanned, right? Like this is like basically a robot, right? AI program scanning the markets for us, like doing all the hard work, right? So if we just click on like an odd example, cool, this looks alright. AUD NZD, right? It looks a bit squished, so cool. Euro NZD, similar thing, right? So euro to the New Zealand dollars, right? Cool. So again, like I said, don't worry too much about Shark. In the actual iMaster Academy videos, I believe 400 series, it will go step by step of what each of them does, like each of the pattern. And again, don't worry too much if you don't understand it. Cool. Like you saw me do, as soon as I clicked on Euro NZD, it gave me 2 entry points, like 2 points of where to enter. It gave me 3 different TP levels, the take profit levels. Basically, once it gets to that point, if you were to do the take profit 2, for example, once price gets to that point, the trade will automatically close and you secure on your profits automatically, right? And you don't manually have to like monitor or stare at your phone, right? Stop is basically a stop loss, right? What stop loss basically is let's say your setup doesn't go in the direction you want, right? let's say you messed up for some reason, whether it be news or whether it be some other reason, right? And your trade just doesn't go into profits. Stop loss basically secures or keeps your money safe so you don't lose too much money, if that makes sense. Basically, I like to refer as a safety net, right? Cool. So that's done. And again, don't worry too much about what each of the letters or numbers or the lines mean. Next thing you want to do after you picked your broker and currency and time frame, on the top left, go into indicators. You want to add in two indicators, right? First thing is Bollinger Bands. Just type in BO, and it's the first one, Bollinger Bands. Click on that once, and close out that tab. Now, next indicator you want to add is stochastics. Just type in STOC, right? STOC, and again, first one that comes up, right? So now you got three indicators, right? This RSI is default given to you, right? And again, don't worry too much if it looks confusing. The more you practice this strategy, the more it will make sense to you, right? So after you set up your two indicators or three indicators, next is the adjustments on the settings, right? Basically modify the settings. So next to BB 20 and 2, you have an I symbol which basically shows or hides it. Settings which we want to click on, and then length from 20 change it to 50, and multiply from 2 to 2.5, right? 2.5. Cool. Now after that, RSI, similar thing. Click on settings, length, change from 14 to 7. Click OK. And stochastics, same thing as RSI, right? Settings, length 14 to 7, and then keep the rest of the settings the same, right? Cool. So that's the settings of indicators and all that sorted. Now I'll go through like what basically Bollinger Bands, RSI, and stochastics basically do or mean, right? So Bollinger Bands is kind of like, think of it like an elastic band, right? Or if you know about support and resistance, think of it like that, right? So each time it gets to, for example, the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, after a bit it just goes up and touches the top, and once it touches the top it drops to the bottom, like a moving support and resistance, if you want to call it that, right? Whoops. Cool. So RSI, what it is it stands for relative strength index, right? What relative strength index or RSI means, it shows you the momentum within the markets, right? For example, if the blue line goes up, that means from this point to that point the market was in a general uptrend or upwards movement, right? So if I line it up from this point to this point, it generally went up. So that was a mini uptrend, right? And again, when the RSI line goes down, the price goes down. When RSI line goes down, the price generally goes down as well, right? Again, don't take trades on each of these confirmations individually. Put all of these confirmations put together to make a very strong trade, right? Now stochastics, if you could see the blue and red lines, right? Now similar to RSI, when the blue line is over the red line, right? Let me just expand this. Actually, cool. If the blue, maybe it's clearer for you guys. If the blue line is over the red line, that means it's in an uptrend. If the red line is over the blue line, that means it's a downtrend, right? It's going down. You can clearly see that. Cool. So that's basically the meanings of the RSI. The three different confirmations, right? Confirmation number 1, write this down. You want the most recent candle, or at least like the most recent 3 candles, up to 3 candles, to be close to the D point, and the D point to be touching or crossing one of the entry points, right? In this case, we have 2 possible entry points, and if I zoom in for you guys, we can see that this D candle or this red candle on the D point has passed the first entry and has tapped the second entry, right? So that's confirmation 1 ticked. Let me just circle that for you guys. Cool. Cool. So that's done. Next thing, second confirmation is you want to line up your mouse with that candle on the D point and look downwards to the RSI. let me circle that for you again, roughly there. Cool. And then you want the blue, like, cool. Before I get into that, yeah, we want to know if this is a selling trade or a buying, sorry, a selling opportunity or a buying opportunity, right? Now, if you are brand new and don't know how to identify selling and buying opportunities, what helped me at the start, right, is looking at these names, right, these words. So for a selling opportunity, write this down if you need to. Selling, you want to look for STE, set, and for so what that basically means, right? Selling, S is stop loss, E is entry, T is the take profits, right? So again, another way to quickly memorize this is selling starts with an S, so you want S to be at the top, right? And then for buying opportunities, buying, you want to be TES, TES, right? Take profit, entry, stop loss, right? Hope that made sense. If not, drop in the comments below, or drop me a DM on Instagram, right? My Instagram is at Sarvinuson99, right? Or just type in Sarvcoin on Insta, it should pop up for you guys. Cool. So that's done. Cool. So now from the set and TES thinking or concept, we can see that is SET, right? Stop loss, entry, take profit. So we're expecting the market to go down, basically a selling opportunity, right? So with that, with a selling opportunity, we want the RSI line to be over the top dash line, right? Which is 70. If you hover over the top dash, it roughly says 70 if I do it perfectly, right? So for a selling opportunity, I repeat this, selling opportunity, we want the blue line to be over and over the top dash line 70 and then coming downwards as well, right? In that green circle we've drawn out. And for a buying opportunity, we want the blue line to be under the 30 mark or the bottom dash line and to be slowly going upwards, right? That's confirmation number 2. Confirmation number 3, if I draw the circle again for you guys, is we want the two red and blue lines to be over the purple zone, sorry, so over 80 if I hover over it. We want the two blue and red lines to be over the purple zone and then crossing each other and start going down a little bit, right? That's for selling. For buying, you want the two blue and red lines to be under the purple zone and slowly start climbing up, right? I'll get onto the buying opportunity after this example, but yeah, that's just the 3 confirmations, right? And again, I would only enter a trade if all 3 confirmations have been met, right? That's the way I trade. I like to be strict with my trades. That's why and again, past profits doesn't guarantee future results, but that's why I'm a very consistent trader, just because I stick to my trading plan, right? And I manage my risk accordingly, right? So we can see here, we can see that the candle on that D point has touched at least one of the entries, right? So and has come close to the top Bollinger Band, right? So that's confirmation number 1 ticked. Confirmation number 2 is the blue RSI line, sorry, needs to be over the top dash line and start coming down for selling, which has done, which has done, right? So that's 2 out of 3 done. Third and final one, we want the blue and the red line to cross over each other and start coming down, right? And again, third final one has been done, right? So let me just clear up the charts for you. So once all 3 of them have been done, what you want to do is go on your MT4 app or your trading platform, whichever one you use. You want to go find Euro NZD. Doesn't matter on your trading platform which time frame you choose, but just click on trade or open trade. What you want to do is copy the stop loss is given you. So in this case, 1.76122216. Don't worry if you can't enter all of them. I believe on MT4 there's only 5 decimal points. So right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1.76122. which is what you will type onto MT4. Entry point, it will be most likely market execution. So basically, as soon as you tap on buy or as soon as you tap on sell, the trade is activated instantly, right? So don't worry too much about entry. Take profit. I normally do have to take profit too. If you wanna be a bit more patient and do it for take profit free, then by all means go for it. If you want to be a bit less patient and just want real quick and in and out trades, then by all means, again, take it to take profit one and just copy and paste the numbers that you are comfortable of doing, right? So if I calculate the pips for you guys, pips are points in percentages, right? Basically the unit of measurement that candles or the trading financial markets moving, right? So on the left hand side, if I click on the measurement tool and click from your entry point to your stop loss, that's roughly 27 pips, right? If for you guys, if it says 277 on the right hand side, just get rid of the last number, and that's how many pips it is from that entry point to stop loss, right? In this case, 27 pips, which isn't too bad, right? And then if we do from entry price down to take profit one, that is roughly 65 pips, right? 64 pips if we round it up, right? And again, get rid of the last number. That's TP1. TP2, which I normally do up to. Sorry, before I get into that, TP1 was hit within 5 hours, right? 5 hours within being activated. TP2 was hit in 9 hours of being activated, right? And that is just a little bit over 100 pips, right? Let's round it down to 100 pips to be a bit more safe, right? That's 100 pips. And again, if you're patient enough, again, like with trading, you have to be patient if you want to have like success, right? Like fast success builds ego, slow success builds character and your mindset as well, which is real important. Take profit free in 13 hours. That's over 160 pips, right? Just from one trade alone. And you can see on the Harmonic scanner, there's about 8 to 10 trades, right? 8 to 10 different opportunities throughout the day, right? Cool. So that's done. Now, with lot sizes, right? Depending on the account you have, FXCM, I believe, or just type in forex position calculator, right? Now, again, depending on your account, you want to risk a certain percent of that account. Like, you don't want to like go all in with that account and like lose every single money you have in that account, right? Especially if you're a beginner, right? Now, most people start with like £100, £200. I'd say if you've got anywhere between like 20 and £100, stick to a 0.01 lot size, right? What that basically means is 10p per pip, right? A 10p investment. So from entry to stop loss, that is roughly like £2 to £3, right? Which is nothing compared, for example, like a £50 account that is like, I don't know, less than roughly 5 to 6%, if I believe, if I'm correct, right? And again, it's only £2 or £3 you'll be risking, right, or investing from that 50, right, for example. But if you take it up to like TP2, for example, that is at least like if you put 10p per pip and it moves 100 pips, 100 times 10p is £10, right? So, and again, that is nice, that is decent for like a smaller account. And again, 0.01 on a 160 pip move is £16 potentially, right? And again, past profits doesn't guarantee future results. So if one trade works out, that doesn't mean for the next trade you go all out, right? Stick to your trading plan, risk the same amount of percentage per trade, right? So cool. Like let's say you have a like from 20 or like for example from like anywhere under £100 accounts, stick to a 0.01. From £100 onwards, you can use the position size calculator to see what exactly you can risk, right? Now, professional traders like my mentors, for example, they recommended me to risk anywhere between 1% to 3%, right? I just went for the middle and done it, and I always risk 2% of my account, right? let's say you want to be a bit greedy, like not greedy, but you're a bit more confident in your setup, and you just want to see how it plays out. You risk 3%, right? Stop loss, like we said, your measurement tool from entry to stop loss. Let's run that to 25 pips, and then currency pair is Euro NZD. So click on the drop down list, Euro NZD. All you have to do, click on calculate, and it says with a 3% risk on a £100 account, you're risking £3 basically, and you can use a lot size of 0.023, right? But most trading platforms won't allow you for the 3, so just round it down to 0.02, right? That basically means 20p per pip, 20p per pip. So again, that will be £3 risk, right? Take profit too. What I normally do is 100 pips, right? With 20p per pip, that is basically £20 in the bag, right? Within 9 hours, right? And again, you build your account up surely over time, right? Like even with one trade, £20, cool. That's £20 bag. You move on to the next setup, right? Next setup is actually, let's look for a buying setup for you guys. Cool. So what was confirmation number 1? Confirmation number 1 is actually, let me just refresh and do it from scratch for you guys. Cool. So when you first log, okay, sometimes it might glitch out, but when you first log in, go into your broker and just, I personally choose Hugo's Way. If you want to choose 50-minute, by all means go for it. I always do 1 hour time frame, and let's look for a buying opportunity. Cool. NZD CAD is a buying opportunity. Why? Because it's TES, right? From set and TES. This one is TES. Take profit, entry, stop loss. TES, right? Next step, add in your indicators. First one is Bollinger Bands, BO. Click on the first one, close out. Go back on it and type in STOC. Click on stochastics, now close out. And then change the settings of the Bollinger Bands, 20 to 50, and then 2 to 2.5. RSI, change from 14 to 7. Stochastics, exact same, right? 14 to 7. So if I zoom in for you guys, you can from the checklist that you've hopefully written down. Again, to save some time, I won't write down on my screen, but pause it if I go a bit too fast and take your time to write it out, right? So confirmation number 1, you want the D point to be, so you want the most free up to 3 recent candles to be on the D point, which you want to be either touching or passing the entry points, right? Let's make that blue, no, pink. Oh, cool. So we can see that this blue candle on the D point has indeed passed the first entry point and is basically between the 2 entry points, right, which is still valid, right? And also, if you notice as well, it has pierced through the bottom of the Bollinger Band, which, if you remember me saying, think of it like a moving support and resistance. So if it pierced through the bottom, it should go to the top, right? And we will see how it plays out in a bit. So that's confirmation 1 out of 3 ticked. Confirmation number 2, hover over that D point and look down to this area over here. And again, for a buying opportunity, you want the blue RSI line to be under the bottom dash and start going up as well, which it has done. So 2 out of 3 is ticked. Third and final confirmation is, let me just move it to the right. Cool. You want the red and blue lines to be crossing each other and going up as well, right? If I extend it for you guys, you can see the blue line, the red line the blue line has crossed over the red line and has obviously gone up from then, right? And obviously it has pierced through the bottom, it has gone to the bottom of that purple zone, which means third and final confirmation is ticked off, right? So again, to calculate your stop loss, so next step is you want to go on your MT4 or your position size calculator and measure from your entry point to stop loss. If you take it from the top entry to stop loss, that's roughly 36 pips, right? 36 pips. On a £100 account, you'll be still risking £3, but a 0.016 lot size, right? If you want to be a bit risky, round up to 0.02. If not, keep at 0.01, right? Now, take profit 1 from that entry is roughly 20 pips. So if you do 0.02, that is roughly £4. 0.0, sorry, take profit 2, 40 pips, that is £8. Take profit 3 of 75 pips, that is almost £15, right? With 0.02 lot size on a £100 account. Basically, if you take up to take profit 3 in this case, you would have grew your account by more than 10% with one trade, and that would have lasted 5 hours, right? So within this 9 hours of these two trades being sent out, that would be a total of 75 pips for NZD CAD. Euro NZD went into 160 pips, right? So that is like 250 pips profit on a 0.02. That's £50. You're profiting within that within that 24 hours time frame, right? Which is 20% of your account, to be a bit technical. If that last few things that I said didn't make sense, don't worry at all. Drop me a message on Instagram if it's still up here, at Salvanusa99, or just type in the comments below and I'll try to help you out. But yeah, that's pretty much it of the Harmonic scanner. If you want my Insta, it is this. If you're in my squad and you got my number, by all means drop me a message or give me a call anytime, and I'll be more than happy to help you out, right? Cool, that's it from me. Just a quick little video going through a specific strategy that I use on the Harmonic scanner, which is the Harmonic scanner alone. Like if you just take these numbers by itself, it is 80% successful. But with the strategy that I just showed you, you boost that success rate to like 80 to 90, 91%, right? Which has been back tested for the past 2 years of me being trading, right? So yeah, that's it from me. If you need any more help, don't be scared to drop me a message. And that's it from me. Take care, and I hope this all made sense to you guys.